Ever feel like you're stuck? Like you're capable of way more, but something's holding you back.
Happens to the best of us.
Today, we're diving deep into Psycho-Cybernetics by Dr. Maxwell Maltz.
Oh, this is a good one.
It's all about how our self-image shapes our reality and how we can rewrite that blueprint for success.
I think a lot of people are going to get a lot out of this.
Yeah, this book is packed with insights.
You know what's fascinating?
What's that?
Maltz was a plastic surgeon,
Right.
and he noticed that his patients' personalities often shifted dramatically after surgery. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
It only happened when their self-image changed along with their appearance.
It's like our self-image is a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Exactly. It
Right.
shapes not just how we see ourselves, but our actual capabilities.
So it's more than just like positive thinking.
Way more.
It's about fundamentally changing how we see ourselves.
You got it.
Which leads us to this idea of the success mechanism.
Yeah.
This intriguing concept that we all have an internal system driving us towards our goals. It's pretty powerful stuff.
So what's the science behind that?
Well, Maltz draws on cybernetics,
Cybernetics.
the study of goal-oriented systems.
Okay.
Think of your brain like a sophisticated machine,
Okay.
constantly taking in feedback and adjusting its course to achieve a target,
Gotcha.
like a torpedo zigzagging towards its mark.
I like that analogy.
We do the same
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
We use our past experiences, successes, and failures to refine our actions.
And get closer to our goals.
You got it.
You know how you sometimes surprise yourself by achieving something you thought was impossible?
All the time.
I bet that's your success mechanism pushing you forward.
Even when your conscious mind doubts.
Exactly. But what about those times when we get in our own way?
Apps?
Maltz talks a lot about the power of imagination.
Oh yeah, imagination is key.
Why is that so crucial?
Because our nervous system can't really tell the difference between a vivid imagination and a real experience.
Really?
Yep.
So if you visualize yourself succeeding, your brain starts to react as if it's already happening.
Wow.
Think about the chess grandmaster Capablanca.
Okay.
He lost his title to Alekhine. And Alekhine meticulously visualized every possible move beforehand.
So he was essentially pre-experiencing victory.
Exactly.
That's incredible.
It's not magic, it's about harnessing the power of the mind.
So by vividly imagining ourselves achieving our goals, we're actually priming our brains for success.
That's the idea.
Makes you think about those limiting beliefs we all carry.
Like what?
I'm bad at math. I'm not a creative person.
We all have them.
How do we break free from those self-imposed shackles?
Maltz called it dehypnotizing ourselves from false beliefs.
Okay.
Often these beliefs are instilled in childhood.
Right.
And they act like hypnotic suggestions, limiting our potential.
So how do we dehypnotize ourselves?
He encourages us to actively challenge these beliefs
Okay.
and replace them with positive affirmations.
It's like updating a faulty blueprint
Exactly.
with a better, more accurate one.
You got to
But sometimes it feels like we're trying too hard, you know?
overthinking everything.
Yeah. Any advice on how to let go and trust the process?
Maltz really emphasizes relaxation.
Relaxation.
When we relax, we allow our subconscious success mechanism to take over.
Interesting.
Think of Charles Guy Suits,
Okay.
former research director at General Electric.
Yeah.
He found that most breakthroughs came during moments of relaxation,
Really?
after intense work, not during the work itself.
So taking breaks isn't just about avoiding burnout.
It's a crucial part of the creative process.
That makes a lot of sense.
It's about finding that balance
Between focused effort and allowing our minds to wander.
to make those unexpected connections.
This is starting to feel pretty actionable.
Oh, yeah,
Maltz even provides a roadmap for developing a success-type personality,
he does.
using the acronym SUCCESS itself, right?
Absolutely.
Sense of direction, understanding courage, charity, esteem, self-confidence, and self-acceptance.
Each trait plays a vital role.
Let's unpack a couple of those. What does Maltz say about having a sense of direction?
He believes that knowing what you want is crucial. Having
Okay.
clear goals.
Makes sense.
It's like a ship's captain letting go of the wheel.
Hoping to drift in the right direction.
It just doesn't work.
You need a destination.
Exactly.
I write that.
Maltz tells this story about an advertising executive
Okay.
who lost his drive after a promotion. He achieved his goal, but then he got caught up in meeting others' expectations.
Oh, I see.
He lost sight of his own path.
That's so relatable.
It happens.
It's easy to lose sight of our own goals when we're constantly comparing ourselves to others.
It's a trap.
What about courage? Is it just about being fearless?
It's more than physical bravery.
Okay.
It's the mental and emotional strength to take calculated risks,
I see.
to act on your ideas even when there's a chance of failure.
Nothing in life is ever guaranteed.
He compares it to a gambler.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes you have to be willing to bet on yourself.
Even if there's a chance you might lose.
That's Kurt.
So it's about embracing that uncertainty.
The element of risk.
Knowing that it's an essential part of growth and achievement.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
This is really resonating with me.
I'm glad.
We've talked about the power of self-image, the science behind our success mechanism, the importance of imagination, and even some key traits of a successful personality.
It's a lot to take in.
It feels like we're building a toolkit for personal transformation.
That's the goal.
And this is just the beginning.
Oh yeah, we've only just scratched the surface.
There's so much more to explore.
In the next part of our deep dive, we'll dig into how to handle life's inevitable challenges, how to heal emotional wounds, and how to truly unlock the power of our real personality.
Can't wait. So we've been talking about the power of our self-image.
How it's like a blueprint for our lives.
But what happens when that blueprint gets damaged? When we're carrying around emotional scars?
You know, Maltz has some really fascinating insights on this.
Oh, yeah.
He compares emotional scars to physical ones. Just as a physical scar can limit your movement,
Right?
emotional scars can hold us back
From what?
from experiencing true happiness and reaching our full potential.
Think about a time you hesitated to do something.
Because of a past hurt or failure,
I have definitely been there.
that's an emotional scar at work.
It's like those experiences leave an imprint on us.
They shape our beliefs and behaviors long after the actual event.
But Maltz doesn't just leave us hanging with this idea, does he?
No, not at all.
He offers a way to address these emotional scars.
He calls it spiritual surgery.
Spiritual surgery.
It's a process of actively choosing to let go of past hurts
Okay.
and building a more resilient mindset.
So how do we perform this surgery on ourselves?
He gives us 3 rules.
3 rules. All right, lay them on me.
Rule number 1, be too big to feel threatened.
I have to admit that sounds a little egotistical.
It's not about having a big ego. It's about having a strong sense of self-worth.
So when we feel secure in ourselves,
We're less likely to take everything personally.
we can brush off those little slights
The criticisms that used to sting,
and prevent them from getting under our skin.
think of it like a Teflon coating on your emotions.
I like that.
Things just slide right off.
So it's about choosing our battles wisely.
Recognizing that not every comment warrants a reaction.
Okay, that makes sense. What's rule number 2?
Refuse to dwell on past hurts.
Okay.
It's about recognizing that the past is over.
We can't change it.
Dwelling on those old hurts is like picking at a scab.
Ouch!
It prevents the wound from healing.
It's so easy to get caught up in those mental loops.
Replaying past events over and over.
And letting them color our present experience.
Exactly.
It takes a conscious effort to break free from that.
It does.
Okay, what about the 3rd rule?
Protect yourself with a tough but flexible psychological skin.
Tough, but flexible. I like that.
It's a great analogy.
Sounds like a good yoga move.
Maltz is saying we need to develop resilience
That ability to bounce back,
from setbacks and challenges
but we also need to be open.
to new experiences and connections
So it's finding that sweet spot.
between protecting ourselves and being vulnerable.
Think of it like a willow tree,
It bends with the wind.
but doesn't break.
Exactly.
That's a beautiful image.
It is.
It reminds me of something we touched on earlier.
What's that?
This idea of our real personality.
The authentic self.
One beneath all the masks and defenses.
Right.
How do we unlock that?
Maltz believes everyone has this unique and inherently attractive core self,
Okay.
but it can get buried.
Under what?
Layers of negative beliefs,
Emotional baggage.
social conditioning,
It's like we have this incredible treasure hidden deep inside.
but we've built walls around it.
Exactly.
So how do we break down those walls?
How do we let that treasure shine through?
Yeah, how?
Maltz tells the story of James Mangan,
Okay.
a salesman who was incredibly self-conscious,
In what way?
especially when eating in fancy restaurants.
I can relate to that.
He felt like everyone was watching and judging him.
I used to get so nervous speaking in front of groups.
Well, Mangan finally overcame his fear
How do you do that?
by making a simple but profound decision.
What was it?
He decided to stop caring what other people thought.
Wow.
He gave himself permission to be himself.
I don't know.
It freed him to act with more confidence and authenticity.
I love that.
His sales career skyrocketed as a result.
That's such a powerful example
It is.
of how our internal state can directly impact our external results.
Absolutely.
Reminds me of something else Maltz talks about.
What's that?
The servo mechanism
Ah,
and how it can work for or against us.
depending on how we handle feedback, you're right. It all ties together.
It connects to what we're discussing about self-consciousness.
How so?
Well, Maltz argues we need to be able to receive feedback
Both positive and negative.
without letting it derail us.
He uses the analogy of a torpedo.
Okay.
If the torpedo's guidance system is too sensitive,
To negative feedback?
it will overcorrect and end up zigzagging all over the place.
Instead of hitting its target.
Precisely.
So it's about finding that balance,
Between being open to feedback.
but not letting it completely dictate our actions.
Exactly. He uses the example of stuttering.
Okay.
Stutterers often become hyper-aware of their speech,
You're right.
constantly monitoring and criticizing themselves.
Which makes the stuttering worse.
It's like they're trying to control something that needs to flow naturally.
What did Maltz find?
He found that when stutterers could learn to relax
To let go of that self-criticism,
and just speak spontaneously,
their fluency often improved.
dramatically,
It's about trusting our inner mechanism
our ability to perform.
without getting in our own way.
Exactly.
That makes me think of another one of Maltz's key traits.
Which one? Self-acceptance.
Absolutely. Self-acceptance doesn't mean we become complacent.
Or stop striving for improvement.
It's about recognizing our strengths and weaknesses
Embracing who we are.
and believing in our inherent worthiness.
It's about recognizing that we're all works in progress.
And that's okay.
We don't have to have it all figured out.
To be worthy of love and success.
And understanding that our value doesn't come from being perfect.
It comes from being authentically ourselves.
Which brings us full circle.
To this idea of unlocking our real personality.
It's about letting go of the need to pretend,
To
be someone we're not.
It's about embracing the freedom that comes with being true to ourselves.
This is all so insightful.
It is powerful stuff.
I'm starting to feel like we're putting together a whole new framework.
For understanding ourselves and our potential.
But there's one more concept I want to explore.
Before we wrap up.
Yeah, Maltz talks about this fascinating idea of life stuff.
Oh, yes.
What is that all about?
This is where Maltz delves into biology
Okay.
and the science of aging.
Interesting.
He introduces this concept of adaptation energy,
Adaptation energy.
which he believes is essential for growth, healing, and well-being.
So is that like our internal fuel source?
You can think of it that way.
Okay.
Maltz draws on the work of Dr. Hans Slee,
Who's that?
a pioneer in stress research.
Okay.
Seeley argued that our bodies have a finite amount of adaptation energy.
And that stress depletes this energy.
Exactly.
So too much stress, whether it's physical or emotional.
Can actually speed up the aging process.
Wow, that's intense.
It is.
But Maltz believes that by understanding how to manage stress,
And conserve our adaptation energy,
we can not only live longer.
but also live more fully.
It's not just about adding years to our lives.
It's about adding life to our years.
It's like recognizing that our mental and emotional state,
has a direct impact on our physical health
and that we have a choice.
and how we manage our energy and respond to stress.
This is starting to sound like some really valuable wisdom.
It is.
But it gets even more interesting.
How so?
Maltz suggests that there might be ways to actually increase our adaptation energy.
To tap into what he calls our reticuloendothelial system, or RES.
RES, that sounds very scientific.
It is.
Is that like our inner fountain of youth?
It's still a bit of a mystery,
Okay.
but the RES plays a key role in our immune system.
And overall resilience
Maltz believes that certain therapies and practices
might be able to stimulate the RES.
and enhance our vitality.
It's like we have this hidden reserve of energy.
It's waiting to be tapped.
Wow, this is blowing my mind.
It is fascinating stuff.
So it's not just about slowing down the aging process.
It's about finding ways to rejuvenate ourselves.
But how do we do that?
That's the million-dollar question.
Right.
While the research on the RES is still ongoing,
Okay.
Maltz believes that our thoughts and beliefs can actually play a role.
Really?
He points to the placebo effect
As evidence that our minds can influence our bodies.
in profound ways.
So it's not just about what we do.
It's also about what we believe
This idea of life stuff really makes us rethink aging.
and the power we have to influence our own health and well-being.
It's incredibly empowering.
It is.
It makes me wonder, what steps can I take today?
To start cultivating more of this life stuff,
What choices can I make to enhance my energy and vitality?
what beliefs can I adopt that will support my well-being?
Those are great questions to ponder.
As we move into the final part of our deep dive,
It seems like so much of what Maltz is talking about
is about taking ownership
of our thoughts, beliefs, and actions
and recognizing that we have more power than we realize.
to shape our reality. I can't wait to explore that further
Me too.
and to uncover what other gems Maltz has in store for us. Okay, so we've explored some incredibly powerful concepts from Psycho-Cybernetics so far.
Yeah. The science behind our self-image.
Managing our adaptation energy.
Right, all that good stuff.
But it feels like there's an even bigger question.
Lingering beneath the surface.
Yeah, like what's it all about? What's the point?
The idea of purpose.
That deep-seated need we all have.
To feel like our lives have meaning.
Does Maltz offer any answers?
He doesn't give us like a step-by-step guide.
Right.
He provides some clues.
Okay, I'm listening.
He argues that true happiness and fulfillment come from aligning our actions with our values.
So pursuing goals that resonate with our deepest selves.
You got it.
It's like finding that sweet spot.
Where our passions, our talents, and our values all intersect.
Exactly. And Maltz believes this pursuit of purpose
Is woven into our very nature.
it's like it's part of who we are.
He sees that as more than just a biological imperative.
Oh, yeah.
He sees it as a spiritual force, a reflection of our inherent desire
To express our unique potential.
to contribute something meaningful to the world.
So it's not just about achieving success for ourselves.
It's about using our abilities to make a difference.
Whether big or small.
Exactly.
That difference could be creating a groundbreaking invention.
Or just being a supportive friend,
A loving parent.
a dedicated artist.
It's about using our gifts.
To make the world a little bit better?
That reminds me of our conversation about life stuff.
How so?
Living with purpose seems to enhance our vitality
It's all connected.
when we're engaged in meaningful work,
And relationships.
when our actions reflect our values.
We tap into a deeper well of energy.
Our purpose fuels our life stuff.
You could say that.
So living with purpose isn't just good for the soul.
It's good for our health, too.
That makes me think of the last chapter.
Where Maltz talks about faith
Right. He moves beyond the purely scientific.
and shares some of his personal beliefs.
He argues that faith, whether in a higher power in ourselves or even just in the process of life, is essential for overcoming challenges.
For reaching our full potential.
It's about having that trust,
That inner knowing that we can handle whatever comes our way.
even when things get tough,
That trust allows us to step outside of our comfort zones,
to take risks.
to embrace the unknown,
It's in those moments of uncertainty that we often discover our greatest strengths.
and experience the most profound growth.
It's like those unexpected detours in life often lead to the most amazing destinations.
It's true.
So much of what we've discussed today boils down to taking ownership,
Of our thoughts, our beliefs, and our actions.
recognizing that we have the power to shape our reality.
That's the essence of Psycho-Cybernetics.
Understanding the incredible potential that lies within each of us.
And then using that understanding to create the lives we want.
What a journey this has been. We've gone from the science of self-image to the mystery of life stuff, to the importance of purpose and faith.
It's a lot to unpack.
It feels like we've unpacked a lifetime's worth of wisdom.
And just one deep dive.
And the best part is this is just the beginning.
Psycho-Cybernetics is a book you can return to again and again.
Each time discovering new layers of insight and inspiration.
Exactly.
If there's one thing I hope our listeners take away from this deep dive,
What's that?
it's that you have the power within you to create a life of meaning and fulfillment.
Well said.
It's not about magic,
It's about understanding how your mind works.
and then using that knowledge to your advantage.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
I encourage everyone to explore Psycho-Cybernetics for themselves.
And to see how its principles can transform your life.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the fascinating world of Psycho-Cybernetics.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep believing in the power of your own mind.